Mom, where do babies come from? Come here, little one. I'm going to explain everything to you. You see, babies grow inside here, in mama's belly. When they are ready to be born, mama goes to the hospital, she's operated on, and the baby comes out and they come back home with a brand new baby. So one day, we are watching an animal documentary on National Geographic, and there's a pregnant lion. Shortly, the lion is seen with its cubs. So my little one asks, Mom, who operated on the lion? I am caught off guard. Welcome back to Reflections on Parenting. My name is Matilda, guidance and counseling psychologist. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, kindly do so that we may continue to learn together. Today, we want to handle this very awkward topic for many parents. We want to learn how to talk about sex and sexuality with our children. So when do we begin? Soon, as your kids start understanding the environment about them. From 2 to 9 years, your kids are very curious about their bodies. They start noticing that the body of a boy is not the same as the body of a baby girl. They are curious about their penis and their vagina. Start by giving them the correct names of these parts of their body, not those colloquial terms. That's the same way an ear is called an ear, a nose is called a nose, a mouth is called a mouth. Tell them, this is your penis, this is your vagina. Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. Sometimes you would catch them displaying inappropriate behavior in public. They are very innocent, just very innocent in their childishness, touching their penis. A parent can get very annoyed, very embarrassed, starts feeling like, kwani watu wana shida gani? These kids are perverse. Now that is where we start going wrong. When we condemn, when we make our kids to feel like they have committed a terrible crime. The secret is for the parent to be calm and teach appropriate behavior in public and appropriate behavior in private. Also, this is the age when you need to start teaching your child that it is okay to say no to inappropriate touches by relatives and by friends. Tell them they are special. You are special, my child. No one is allowed to touch your private parts without your consent. Make them comfortable to know that they can always come to you. If someone has threatened them, maybe someone has told them not to tell, or if you tell what I've done to you, I'm going to kill you. Let your kids know beforehand that you are a safe haven for them to turn to in case of such threats. The world has become a bad place. When you're having relatives at home, don't just assume this is my brother, this is my sister. You know of the many cases that happen when close relatives come home and they abuse kids. So a parent's antenna must always be up for any such signs. Sometimes your kids will want to experiment and do things that are not acceptable. Don't fill your kids with guilt. They are just kids. It is your role for you to explain to them why what they're doing is wrong. Gently, calmly, explain to them that they should not be doing things that are supposed to be for adults. Puberty begins as early as 8 years in some girls and 9 years in boys, depending on your genetic makeup. A parent should be on the lookout because if this stage is not handled properly, it can result in shame. You can imagine if a girl soils her clothes because of her menses, because no one prepared her for the same. Or a boy who just suddenly has a nocturnal emission and no one has ever prepared them for it. So if you notice that this has started happening to your child, sit them down and have the talk. Better yet, take them out on their birthday and explain to them what to expect. Daughter, you are blossoming like a beautiful flower. Can you see your breasts are developing? Your hips are broadening. Soon you'll be having your menses. This is God's design for humanity. So this is your season of being a flower. I want you to live out your season fully. What happens when pollination takes place in our flower? It soon loses its beauty. Then you explain to her the do's and the don'ts, how to engage with boys, how to engage with men. Son, you are becoming a man. Look how handsome you are. You've become tall, your shoulders are broadening, your voice is deepening. And you explain to them what it means to be a man. Being a man means being responsible to provide for your children and for your wife. Being a man is not using girls and dropping them. And let the conversation go on. Let us encourage our kids not to deal under the table, but to bring their cards on the table. Let us, so that they don't have different personalities. I am this good boy in the presence of my parents and my teachers. But in my bedroom and in my privacy, I am a totally different person. Encourage the talk. Use everyday events to help your children, to encourage your children even to open up and talk. You're watching these local TV shows at night. Maybe there's a boy and a girl who are going wrong. Use the opportunity to explain to your kid why relationships at this particular age may not be good for them. They might not comment, but they are listening. And you're giving them a standard against which to judge all the information that they get from outside. Encourage them to delay their sexual debut as much as possible. Encourage them to have many girlfriends, to have many boyfriends, but not too specialized, not one-on-one relationships at this age. Let them know that they can come to you with their questions without feeling judged, without feeling condemned. Let us come down the pedestal of being holy, of being the good parent, like we never made mistakes. In our age, we made mistakes. A good parent is the one who can even open up and tell their kids, I messed up here and there. This builds trust and this helps the kids to make better decisions. Now, research shows that many kids are having their sexual debut much earlier than even the parents expect. So it may be necessary to teach your kids about responsible sexual behavior. Tell your kids, child, these are my values. I want you to delay having sex until you are married. This is what is good for you. But if you choose otherwise, please let me know so I can take you to a healthcare provider and you're taught how to handle yourself so that you don't get into early pregnancies or into diseases. It is a worse crime to bring forth a child whom you cannot take care of at this age. Finally, let me remind you that as parents, we can only do our part. The kids will have to make their decision. We are creatures of free will. That is how the Lord made us. Do your part. Pray for them that the Lord illuminates them to make the correct decisions. He is willing and able